man.
So yeah, I talk a lot about music on my show, and I know you're partnered up with Matt Myra. How do you feel about the Dave Matthews Band? Be honest.
How am I'm partnered up with him? You mean just like through the podcast?
No, I mean sexually. No, I'm joking. Just yeah, through the podcast. Have you had to put
um,
up with a lot of listenings of Under the
no,
Table
God,
and
no.
Dreaming?
I wouldn't let him put it on. Why would I let him put on music that I don't want to hear? Um, it's Matt and I. We don't spend too much time driving around together or anything, so it's never really an issue.
Gotcha.
And It's not that I hate Dave Matthews Band. It's just that I don't care about him at all.
Yeah, the way
You
I feel
know,
about them is they do have an original kind of American sound with their instrumentation and stuff. It's just I mostly
yeah,
hate their fans.
they sound like Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
They sound like, and that's great. That's like the best you could hope for, I think, in music, is to just have your own thing and have your own sound. But
The frat
I
boys
don't.
are what kind of turned me off on them a little bit.
And that's a big thing too, because that's a hard thing about music, where it's fans can easily like turn you off of bands, and that's it's sad that that's the case, but it's hard not to be like it took me a long time to get into No Effects, because only jocks I knew listened to that punk band No Effects.
Yeah, exactly. I feel you. But really,
When
they
I
do
find
have
out that they're actually kind of like smart, funny, anti-jock guys,
yeah, they're poking fun at it.
I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and Dave Matthews, they also took a little bit from the Peter Gabriel songbook. If you listen to much Peter Gabriel, I mean, Dave kind of ripped
Yeah.
off his voice and just that whole in your eyes drum beat kind of stuff.
Oh, totally, yeah. I mean, I just Matt does like a lot of good music, but I think he's a dude from the Boston area,
Yeah.
that got really into guitar playing, and that's like all that band is full of like just really good instrumentalists.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You got to give him a little respect for that. And was it Hardwick the one that was always bringing up the Dave Matthews in his face, or?
Yeah, that was more Chris. Like, I've worked at a lot of record stores. I've had to put up with a lot of other people's, and there's no one's wrong, no one's right.
Sure.
But it's funny to make fun of people for listening to something that they genuinely like, because there's no bass in it. There's no point in it. It's just a silly, dumb thing. Chris, I really do believe, hates Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I could care less, though. I could care less.
Yeah, Singled Out was kind of the time when Dave Matthews sort of took over. At least he was really gaining momentum right in the mid '90s. That was when I was going to high school and stuff, and yeah, it was unescapable. So maybe he's been able to, vent a little bit of that nerd rage out on Myra. So.
Yeah, probably.